only 40 years ago that the first cell phone call was made. And since then, we've gone from a massive device like the one Michael Douglas flaunted in the film Wall Street to the sleek designs of today that also work as tiny computers connecting us to the rest of the world. But with this revolutionary technology, there's also a dark side: misuse and abuse. For example, the National Safety Council states that cell phone use on the road accounts for 23% of all car crashes now. And aside from the potentially deadly addiction, for those of us with smartphones, we've also willingly succumbed to the insidious nature of the surveillance state. You see, we use and rely on them without question, regardless of the fact that this technology is tracking and monitoring us everywhere we go. You might be surprised with the amount of surveillance that's going on right in your pocket. In fact, mobile carriers like AT&T or Verizon are actually required by law to have the ability to monitor and track you. Yup. The FCC's E911 initiative requires that carriers have the capability to track our location within 100 meters at all times. But that's not all. Do you really think that an iPhone whose battery you can't remove is really all about aesthetics? Plus, there's facial recognition through your cell phone camera and determined data mining of how and when you can use your mobile device, all being stored in massive data centers, easily accessible by a third party. Why? Well, because it's a matter of national security. But is that really the case? No! As consumers, we're simply the pawns in a system run by corporations, under a government that does little more than serve their corporate masters. Knowing every little thing about you is a pretty useful tool for the corporatocracy to have. Surveillance and data mining is about tapping into and manipulating our subconscious, keeping consumers hungry for the latest and greatest. But it's not just about pleasing the corporations. It's also about societal control. In the book 1984, Big Brother took the form of the telescreen. But today, the telescreen is our cell phones. We don't ever leave the house without it. Remember that false sense of freedom you got with your first cell phone? Well, now having one means the complete opposite. And sadly, society expects you to have one on you at all times. We've been conditioned to accept this as just the way it is. And hey, I'm guilty of it too. So while we marvel at the 40th anniversary of this revolutionary technology, set it down for a minute, an hour, or even a whole day. Leave your phone at home. Go out for a walk and explore nature. Reclaim your freedom.